And I spoke earlier this evening to the Chief Minister, Omar Abdullah, looking at how that support must translate into action. Omar Abdullah, thank you very much for joining me this evening. To ask, many have questioned that your first initial tweet strongly against online abusers, but you seem to have second thoughts when it came to taking on the Grand Mufti. You first tweeted against him and then deleted it. Why did you delete your tweet against the Grand Mufti and his fatwas?
Hey, Sonia, you and I know Twitter well enough to know that if something is there for a second, it's there forever. Yes, I said what I had to, and then I found that it had got the reaction that it needed to. And since I'd said the less said, the better, after I saw that it was out and people had seen it, I took it off.
So you stand by what you said, saying that given the importance, the sarcastic comment you made in his fatwa, you stand by what you said against the Grand Mufti?
No, not at all. If that was the case, why would I be here today?
So, meaning you haven't changed your stand. Tell me, Omar Abdullah, we've seen about the relationship between the government and the Grand Mufti. People have pointed out that in a sense, he enjoys government patronage. In fact, the Hurriyat, who ironically have supported the Grand Mufti today, earlier said that he's a government agent. What would you say about the reactions that the government is going soft on the Grand Mufti?
No, I think it needs to be clarified. He's not government appointed. He's not government paid. He receives no salary, no honorarium, no even underhand money from the government. His is a hereditary position, and if I understand correctly, he's already passed on the mantle to his son. He, I think, runs a mosque or two from which he derives some income, and he also gets some income from issuing fatwas and attending marriages and things like that. But he is not, and I think that needs to be understood very clearly, he is not a government-appointed Mufti.
But Omar Abdullah, when he issues, what can be seen only as a threat, many viewers have written to us asking you why you can't take firm action against the Grand Mufti who's issued a threat against 3 young girls.
Well, we can take action against those who act on his fatwas. I don't think we can take action against him because he's just issued a fatwa saying that these girls shouldn't sing, that it's un-Islamic. From what I've understood, from what I've seen of his fatwa, he hasn't actually asked people to take action against the girls. He hasn't actually come out and threatened them. He's just given his version of what he thinks their singing is, and he's told them to stop. But he's not issued any threats that I see that are actionable. Were he to have threatened the security of the girls or anything like that, then yes, that would have been a different situation altogether.
No, but Omar, when you say that, isn't the fact that the girls have actually said they'll quit only after his fatwa came? When the first reports came in of online abuse, the girls actually said that, we're not going to give up singing, we'll just lie low. But he's actually, it's because of him, it is a threat, because it's because of him that they've stopped singing. And many have asked that you first criticized him, then deleted your tweet, that pressure has actually made these girls quit today.
Look, these girls chose to sing of their own free will. I hope they will continue to sing. If they choose to continue to sing and their family or their managers believe that they require some sort of security, we'll do a threat assessment and see what requires to be done. But the decision to sing or continue to sing is something those girls have to take together with their families. It's not something the government can do. I can't force them to sing any more than anybody should force them not to sing.
Omar Abdullah, can I say that I don't entirely agree with that at all, because it's not about free choice. Their choice to sing was free choice, but their choice not to sing today is very much because the pressure that they're facing.
Which is exactly what I'm saying, that if it's security that is stopping them from singing, then yes, we will take care of security requirements. But beyond that, it's not this government's place to force them to sing. And honestly, I really wish these girls had continued their singing away from the glare of all this media. It perhaps would have been better for them. But I mean, somehow they found themselves in the limelight, and here's where we are today.
Omar Abdullah, again, I have to say I don't agree with that statement, because the whole point of a rock band is surely the limelight. I mean, these are 3 young girls who wanted to perform, who wanted to show what they can do to the world. Why should they perform away from the limelight in a sense?
No, yeah, there are any number of groups and musicians who never get the sort of publicity these guys got.
Okay, but just to ask, you made the point that, look, the Grand Mufti hasn't issued a physical threat, but what about those who have actually issued physical threats? We've seen governments, including yours, often use Section 66A of the IT Act. Why hasn't it been used here when some of the online abusers have even threatened rape? Why haven't you arrested these people who made these vile online threats?
No, of course we will. We have every intention of tracking down all those people who have made online threats against these girls, whether on Facebook or Twitter. And should we be able to get their real identities, we will ensure that the law comes down on them as hard as the law allows us to. We will not allow these people to get away with making threats like this. How can you threaten young teenage girls that they should be raped and their bodies thrown in the river? I mean, on the one hand, you're saying their singing is un-Islamic. On the other hand, you're making threats like this. Is this Islamic? Does Islam teach us to threaten our sisters and our daughters like this? That they should be raped and thrown in the river? And if those photographs that I've seen are correct, out of these 2 or 3 girls, at least one, if not 2 of them, are in headscarves. Their heads are covered. They're following the customs of Islam. They're good Islamic girls. They're good Muslim girls. The only difference is that they're choosing to express their talent in music in a new form. I mean, Kashmiris have never had a problem with singing. Yes. I mean, look at our culture, right from the poetry of Lal Ded to the singing of Noor Jahan Kashmiri, yes, to Habba Khatun, to Shamim Azad. I can name you any number of famous Kashmiri singers who we as Kashmiris have taken pride in. How come no fatwas were issued against them? The only fault these girls have, which is being attributed to them, is that their style of music is different. Instead of a tumbaknar, they're using a set of bongos. Instead of a santoor, they're using a guitar. But otherwise, they are just choosing to express their talent in a way that they know best.
Omar Abdullah, you've again said that how can a fatwa be issued against them? But how do you go beyond that? You've said that, look, the Grand Mufti has made no physical threat. He's not government appointed. But do you think you should actually take strong action against him? Will it set an example? Do you think by arresting him, it will set an example? Or do you think it may actually make matters worse if you take action against the Grand Mufti, that it's better to let things lie low?
It'll just make things worse. Look, Jammu and Kashmir is a secular state. We are a Muslim majority state, but we are a secular state. We are all sentimental about our religion, whichever religious practice we follow. But I mean, the government of the day, whether my predecessor's government, my government, or my successor's governments, we obviously will not be dictated to by religious fatwas like this. I mean, today it's the Grand Mufti, tomorrow it will be somebody in Nagpur, day after it will be somebody sitting in Amritsar. There'll be no end to this. So we have taken an oath to uphold the law and to protect people, and that's what we'll do.
But it's easy in a way to say that, Omar Abdullah, but as your opponent, Mehbooba Mufti, says, don't tweet, take some action.
What would she like me to do? Would she like me to arrest the Grand Mufti? If she comes out and says I should arrest the Grand Mufti, I'll go and do it tomorrow. Because the problem with Mehbooba Mufti is that she finds it very convenient to criticize me from the sidelines, but everything I do is then converted into politics. She will criticize me even for this today.
Agreed, Omar Abdullah, that there are no easy answers. It's a difficult situation. But as Chief Minister, how will you make it safe for these 3 girls to actually exercise their freedom of choice to sing?
Well, we certainly will try and create such an environment. And obviously, in that, society as a whole has to...
No, but what concrete steps will your government take?
Look, as I said, I mean, the only concrete steps we can do is provide them security. As a government, that's the only concrete step we can do. We can appeal to the conscience of the wider society to recognize this for what this is, to take pride in the talent of these girls, to recognize that this is just a continuation of a rich cultural heritage that we have always taken pride in.
Omar Abdullah, thank you very much for joining me this evening.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.